Alright, hello everyone, Simon here. Welcome back to the Minecraft Trains project. I am building the Solace branch. Alright, let's go. Bricks and stone bricks all the way. Nothing remarkable, really. Why doesn't that work? Is the brick different or am I doing this wrong? I thought if you do this. Yeah, like you can almost look anywhere and it'll just place. That was weird. Stone bricks down here. Excuse me. Oh, hold up, that's not supposed to... Well, I mean... No one's gonna see this anyway. Hey, Hava. Cause I'm gonna close all of this. And there. Yeah, I'm gonna close this. Like that. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that right? Did I count that right? Bricks? That's not right, is it? That shouldn't be there. Oops. Oh, let me put the dirt back here or something. I wonder how deep the deep dark is. I guess they didn't have enough content in the deep dark to release it. The deep dark is a major expansion. Cause when they increased the height limit, they didn't add anything up there. Right, like the sky is just empty space. So when they update the height limit, they just put a lot of empty space up there. For the most part. But the deep dark, if they just make it solid rock, it's not very good content. Kinda like the nether when it first got put in, and I guess the end when they first put it in. Like that stuff they didn't... No, this is not right. When they first put that stuff in, they didn't have any content. And for a long time, it didn't do anything. The nether at the end. Eventually they added more stuff. The deep dark is likely to end up being like that. Houses, I would think it's still pretty easy, as they just need to use the existing cave gen and add a few blocks. Well, I mean, they could do that, Hava, but if they do, it's kind of boring. Or even just tweak the cave gen. I mean, okay, yes. Yes, you're right, they can do that. But I just, I don't think it would be a good idea. I think they should try to put more new stuff in than just that. Just from like a game design perspective. How is this? I've not seen the new Deep Dark. Is it different? I haven't seen it either. We haven't seen very much. I think they were trying to keep a lot of it secret earlier. Because they didn't want to spoil it. I mean, it seems like they have something big planned for it. That it's not just gonna be like more of the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. That really doesn't line up. Not that it matters. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, 4. They did put in like a giant monster. What's it called again? They keep wanting to make it scary as well. They seem to have said try to bring back the feeling of their first night in Minecraft. But I mean, the thing with horror is that it works the first time, maybe even the second or third time. But anything that you see more than like a handful of times stop being scary. Especially if it like, if you figure out how to defeat it. So nothing stays scary. Right, like the first time you see the Enderman, oh my god, they're so fast. And then after a while, oh, you just stand underneath a 2-block high gap and then they can't hit you. And then it stops being scary, right? So I don't know. I don't know about trying to evoke horror in a game that you're supposed to solve. And you're supposed to keep playing after you solve it. I mean, what horror game really has replayability? Should that be glass? Let's not worry about it. How is this for me? The first time in the Nether, it was constant screaming of the ghast as they got stuck in lava. I spawned inside Nether rock, took me 5 minutes to get up, really twitchy the whole time with the screams all around me. Yeah, yeah. So like, you know, the first time you go down there is great. Right, like the first time you go down there is super spooky. But, you know, once you figure it out, it stops being spooky. fact, I'm just thinking like a lot of games kind of have to have it difficult enough to be engaging. But it's a very fine line between that and just being grindy and annoying. If you're playing Monster Hunter World, and most of the game is fairly well balanced. But some of the like the DLC event quests, it's just like, why is it so grindy? I mean, I get it, it's designed for like multiplayer. It's designed to be challenging for multiplayer teams, whereas I'm playing solo. And technically it's doable solo, but it's so grindy if you do it solo. So like you kind of try to make the game challenging and thus engaging. But if you get the balance wrong, you end up with the opposite effect of it being like really boring and turning people off. Because it becomes like stupidly grindy. I think I've talked about similar topics before. I do think a fairly good solution is to have games that are, or have to have like game mechanics that are sharp. And Counter-Strike is the classic example, where literally you get shot in the head once and you're dead. Counter-Strike, you get shot in the head once and you're dead. With an AK. So it's kind of like you die really fast. So it's never grindy, right? And if you're good, you would die less than the opponent because you're more accurate than them. So you shoot them in the head more often than they shoot you in the head. So like there is a difference. Like skill does make a difference. But occasionally you can just like get a lucky shot and kill the better guy. So the worst guy can win sometimes if they just get a lucky shot. But that is like very unlikely. And it doesn't happen very often, and then if it happens a few times, that's fine. No, you know, you just move on to the next game. I guess it's like rock, paper, scissors. Like the game is over very fast. But if you're good at it, you can, like, you'll win more often than not. So game design like that avoids the grind while retaining difficulty, right? Counter-Strike is really difficult to play well. Or I like to be a top player. Anyway, I'm not making a final judgment on Monster Hunter World yet because I'm nowhere near finished with the game. I've played Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. Although even with that one, I haven't really played enough to make a final judgment, which is crazy because I've played like hundreds of hours. But I made the mistake of choosing the Lance. The Lance is high defense, low attack. And I finished the game okay. But when I get to like the post-game content, I discovered that the lance doesn't actually do enough damage to beat the monsters. 'Cause it just, again, I play solo. I guess the lance could like draw aggro and tank, and then you have your friends do the damage. I guess you could do that, but since I don't have friends, I play solo, and the lance just doesn't do enough damage to beat the post-end game optional DLC bosses. Well, I mean, maybe it could if you're really, really, really good at it, and you do everything right. So if I picked a more suitable weapon, I think I should be able to solo even the optional content. I think. But even then, it's quite grindy. Final Fantasy 13 is a game that I played and I'm not gonna upload the videos for. That game became a grind fest. How to explain Final Fantasy 13? The combat system, it's a real-time combat system. I like a real-time turn-based, active turn-based, whatever you want to call it. And there's not too much you can do within the battle to control what happens. So the battles are really about preparation. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're about preparation and knowing like how to set up your character, and then once you're in the battle, there's not much you can do to control it. So what happens is that it becomes all the like endgame stuff becomes a DPS check. A DPS check. So you're just checking whether your character can output enough damage to kill the enemy before the time runs out. And there's a timer. Only on some of the endgame content. So it's just a DPS check. So you just grind, and then you grind for half an hour only to find out you don't have enough damage to kill it. And then you go back and you like, I don't know, try to make your character do more damage, and then you grind again for half an hour to see if you have enough damage. And that was the game.